Hello class, this is Ryan, and this PowerPoint will hopefully get you ready for the speaking test. So a little bit about the test. The speaking test will be a one-on-one interview to test your speaking ability on material from units 1, 2, and 3. Please come and take your test at the scheduled time. I will give you your class times or your test times this week. So from unit 1, first thing we're going to cover, and we have Park Ji-sun here, is what is your first name? The way you answer is my first name is. Second question, what is your last name? My last name is. Alright, so we have this picture of Park Ji-sun. But if he were answering my questions, what is your first name? My first name is Ji-sung. My last name is Park. Just remember, last name is your family name. So my last name is Lee, my last name is Jang, etc. Another question I might have is, what is your English name? So my English name is Monica. My English name is Owen. And another important question is, where are you from? So all my students are from Korea. So please do not say, I am from Korea. Alright, so what city are you from? So I am from Daejeon, I am from Busan, I am from Seoul, I am from, Pohang. Alright, and another question, is he from Canada? The way you answer, no he isn't. He is from USA. And we have a picture of Barack Obama. So is he from Canada? No he isn't. He is from USA. We have a picture of Kim Yana. Is she from South Africa? So no, she isn't. She is from South Korea. Unit 2 questions are going to be about jobs and your schedule. So one question you might have is, what are 3 popular part-time jobs in Korea? If you can remember, we made a list on the board. So you might answer, 3 popular part-time jobs are cashier, tutor, and server. Another question might be, what does a mechanic do? Or what does a flight attendant do? So what is their job? What do they do? So here we have, what does a mechanic do? A mechanic fixes cars. And remember the verb, 동사, we add s. So what does a flight attendant do? A flight attendant serves food and drinks to passengers. What does a nurse do? What does a carpenter do? What does a teacher do? What does a reporter do? What does a chef do? And finally, what does a caregiver do? So these are all available in your book on page 9. Another question I might ask is, where does a job work? So for example, where does a nurse work? A nurse works in a hospital. Where does a model work? A model works on a stage or a runway. Okay. Some other questions that I might ask is, where does a mechanic work? A mechanic works in a garage. Or, where does an accountant work? Where does a chef work? Where does a server work? Where does a salesperson work? So I might ask you 1 or 2 questions like this. Next is about your schedule, your daily routine. So I will ask some questions about your schedule. So here's an example. What time do you get up during the week? So for me, I get up at 7:45 a.m. during the week. And these are all on page 115 in your book. We practiced the interview. Some other questions might be, what time do you have breakfast? So I have breakfast at 8:15 a.m. Or if you don't eat breakfast, you might say, I don't have breakfast, or I don't eat breakfast. What time do you get up on weekends? What time do you have dinner? What time do you go to bed on weekdays? What time do you go to bed on weekends? So I will choose a few questions, not all the questions. Unit 3 is going to be about price. So I might have a couple of pictures with some prices on them, and I will ask you questions. So how much is it? This is if it's one of something. So it is $2.50. If it is 2 or more or something, like shoes, or let's see, or belts, or markers. So how much are they? They are $5.75. So here's an example. We have marker. So it is 1 marker. So you're going to say, excuse me, how much is it? And your answer would be, it is $1.50. Computer, we have 1. So how much is it? It's $549.99. Here we have golf clubs, many. So how much are they? They are $275.25. We have shoes. 1, 2. So how much are the shoes? Or how much are they? The shoes are $110.10. So practice with numbers, especially dollars. This will be helpful when you travel one day. And the final part will be using some comparing. So we have a picture of a man and a woman, a very tall woman. So a question I might ask, who is taller, the man or the woman? The woman is taller than the man. Who is shorter, the woman or the man? The man is shorter than the woman. Here's another example. Which is more expensive, the shoes or the computer? So the computer is $549.99. Shoes are $110.10. So the computer is more expensive than the shoes. Which is cheaper, the shoes or the computer? So I will ask you some questions like that. Which is bigger, the elephant or the mouse? Which is smaller, the mouse or the elephant? Some other words I might ask you. Colder. Which is colder, Russia or Korea? Hotter. Which is hotter, Australia or Russia? Which is cooler? Which is more stylish, Nike or Reebok? Who is younger? Who is older? And who is heavier? So see that these are some questions I might ask you. So good luck studying. If you have any questions, please email me, and I will see you at the test.